Hi, I'm Emerson Weber and I'm 11 years old. You may know me as the person whose story went viral when I wrote a letter thanking my mail carrier Doug and received hundreds of letters from postal workers in return. My story is now being turned into a picture book called Sincerely Emerson. I realized in March when we started quarantining at home that letters were really the way I connected to people and my friends and my pen pals, and without Doug, without the mail carriers, that wouldn't be possible for my letters to get there. So I wanted to thank him for the job he did to deliver my letters. After I wrote Doug a letter, he shared it with his supervisor, Sarah. She put it into a newsletter for postal workers and they all wanted to write me a letter. So about a week after that, I got 2 big boxes of letters from postal workers. Then my dad shared a tweet on Twitter about me receiving those letters from the postal workers and me writing my mail carrier, and people all over the country and all over the world eventually now wanted to write me whether they were postal workers or not. I had to have received hundreds of responses, I would say 1,000 by now. In my letter to Doug, the last line said, P.S. My favorite singer is Taylor Swift. I like to include little tidbits about Taylor Swift in all my letters because she really is my favorite singer. A couple weeks after everything went crazy and I was viral and I was doing all these news interviews, I got this big box. This big box arrived on my steps. And when we opened it, the first thing we saw was a tag that said 2M from Tay. Inside the package was some of Taylor Swift's merch, but most importantly, there was a letter from Taylor Swift herself and a little gift she gave me. This was the letter I got from Taylor Swift. She even decorated the envelope and put some glitter glue and sparkles on the back. In the letter, Taylor mentioned how she loved to write letters and how in her letters she always uses a wax seal. The bag I sent along with this letter contains one of my favorite letter writing tools, wax seals to seal envelopes with. I'm sorry that they look messy. I couldn't get new ones in time, so I sent you mine. These are the wax seals she sent me. It has a 13 on it. That's her lucky number. And she sent me some wax. I have been using this wax seal like crazy, but I always make sure to put it back in the bag so nothing bad ever happens to it. I think letters are so much more personal than texts or emails because you took the time to not only write the letter, but you addressed it, you put a stamp on it, you sent it, and when they get it in the mailbox, and they can actually hold it and they have what you wrote to them, it's just so much more personal. It was crazy that they all wrote to me and wrote me back after seeing the story, and I think a lot of the postal workers did it because they saw that their work was being recognized and they really valued that because during this time we rely on them so much and they were happy to be thanked. Some things you can do to support the USPS is buy a sheet of stamps. Stamps are amazing things because they have so many different designs and they're so colorful. Another thing you can do to support the USPS is just to send a letter. Sending letters will not only bring joy to people's faces, but if you don't have that red flag up on your mailbox often, your mailman or mailwoman will be really excited to see that you're sending a letter. I hope people take away the fact from my story that a simple act of kindness can make a really big impact in someone's day, and just being thanked for the job you do makes them really happy. I hope my story inspires you to write letters of your own. You can learn more in my picture book, Sincerely Emerson.